Hi, I'm Terri Page with Medical Transformation Center, and not only do I get to be the co-founder of Medical Transformation Center, but I'm also a certified lifestyle coach, which means I get to talk with people about something that's so foundational to the work that we do here, which is nutrition. Oftentimes people ask me, gosh, Paleo-Mediterranean, that is so hard to wrap my head around. Does that mean I just get to eat chicken and lettuce the rest of my life? What does that even look like? So I thought today what we would do is I would give you a visual, because if you're like me, sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. And you want to just know, what could that look like? How could you incorporate that into your family life? Now, some of you all may know this about us, but my husband, Dr. Page, and I have 8 kids. And so the food that you see here is a little bit more representative for a large family. However, the basic components are going to be the same whether you are cooking for yourself or you're cooking for a tribe. So what I thought I would do is just kind of walk you through. This is actually a good representation of our weekly grocery shop. Now, whether that's that I actually go to the grocery store or whether I take advantage of that great click and shop thing that they do now. Personally, I actually prefer to go to the grocery just because I get inspired that way. But if you're more of a structured person and you really work best with lists and planning and that type of thing, then absolutely that's going to work great for you. Again, I'm just looking typically more for inspiration. So hopefully, no matter what type of a learner you are, this will be helpful for you today. So the basic tenets of Paleo-Mediterranean. Paleo-Mediterranean is very little grain. Well, first of all, as clean as you can get it. Let's put that as the umbrella. As clean as you can get it. So what that means is, as much as you can. Remember, it's not ever going to be perfect, okay? 80-20 is great. So non-GMO, organic, antibiotic, steroid, hormone-free. Again, just as clean and non-processed as you can get. But again, I've put some little other things in here. I'm going to call them little cheats, just because, again, sometimes you want something different. But this is going to give you a good idea of how to stay on plan that 80% of the time. So in addition to that overarching umbrella, we're going to choose good quality proteins. So ones that, more lighter ones, so chicken, fish, maybe some pork, every once in a while red meat, but not all the time, not on the regular. You're going to want to be more on that lighter side, okay? Fishes are really, particularly salmon is a great one because of the good fats that you're going to get in there too. So that's going to be a component of your protein. No cow dairy, okay? So again, this is, Paleo-Mediterranean, so not any cow dairy, but, some sheep and some goat cheese are okay. So you'll see some of that in the components here. Also, when you talk about fruits, a lot of people think, wow, fruit, it's healthy, it's natural, it's great, I can eat a ton of it. But the reality of it is, fruit is sugar. Fruit equals sugar, fructose, right? And so you can actually get too much. So what we like to say with Paleo-Mediterranean is, if you're going to have some fruits, now this is an exception right here, and I put it here because I have one of my kids that likes a half of a banana in a smoothie every morning. But I'm going to tell you that bananas actually do have a lot of sugar. They're a higher glycemic index fruit. And that's the most common one that people will tell me, well, I have to eat that for my potassium. So I wanted to bring that up here. But then berries. Berries are going to be your lower glycemic index fruits. And again, in moderation, not all the time. Berries, lemons, limes, green apples. So those are your low glycemic index fruits. Now again, if it's July and it's watermelon season and you just grew the most beautiful watermelon, eat it. It's just not something that you want to eat all the time. Again, just shift your mindset from thinking, oh, fruit is natural, I'm going to change my diet and I'm going to eat a lot of fruit, because that's not going to support your health, okay? So a lot of really beautiful veggies, right? Colorful. You want the most colorful veggies you can get and a nice variety. And generally you want to stay away from the more starchy ones. So as you can see over here, I've got just an abundance of vegetables. And primarily, honestly, when I was at the grocery, and I actually did this earlier today, as I was at the grocery, it took me, I will tell you that probably 70% of my time was spent in the produce section. And again, it's because I like to look around and get inspired and that type of thing, but there are some things that I just always buy. So some of the things here that you can see, we always want a lot of good leafy greens, right? So I've got collard greens, which, that can be such a wonderful side dish. You just get a little, nice, some clean bacon fat. I know that sounds, oh my gosh, shocker, did she just say bacon fat? But if you have some antibiotic, steroid, hormone-free, nitrate-free bacon that you have cooked, you save those renderings and use those to slice these beautiful collard greens into ribbons and saute that in your frying pan and put some salt and pepper and some garlic on there, and you've got the most delicious side dish. So that's collard greens. So you could do the same thing. This is dino kale or Tuscan kale, another beautiful, again, so nutrient dense for you. Really going to help release that energy in your system and give you the nutrients that you need. Beautiful local Bibb lettuce. Again, just imagine that you could use a salad for that, or you could just take a clean piece of that Bibb lettuce and do a roll-up maybe with some sliced chicken in there and a little goat cheese, and just create a roll-up, and it would be fabulous. But that's a nice lunch or a dinner that you could do on the fly. These, you see zucchini, peppers, red onions, white onions, beautiful eggplant. Those are all things that could be used for a ratatouille. Again, totally on plan. A beautiful ratatouille. I've got some olive oil here. You could put that in there and just really, fresh garlic, onions, red onion, zucchini, peppers, the eggplant. All of that could just be a wonderful, again, a side dish, or put a little ground Italian sausage in there, and all of a sudden you've got a meal. You've got a full, complete meal, and it's one pot, and it's super easy to do on a busy weeknight. Some other things that you can see over here, actually, on this side of the table, fennel, another beautiful root. Very good. It's a good blood purifier, really good detoxer, really supports your health. It's wonderful whether you slice it fresh and put it in a salad, or you could roast it, or it could just be a component of your ratatouille, or maybe a nice spaghetti sauce, which we'll talk about in a minute, that you can make on a busy night. But again, just even fresh, just sliced up and put with maybe a little lemon juice on arugula would be a fabulous salad. Let's see, what else do I have over here? Oh, beets. So beets, that's another really great root vegetable. I love beets. You can chop those out. So what you can do is clean those off really well and then roast them, chop them up and roast them. And then you could make a nice little side dish with roasted beets. You could sprinkle some of that beautiful goat cheese on it, and then take these pistachios and have, again, either like a salad that could be your full meal. Maybe you put a little sliced chicken or some, what else do I have here? Oh, this is a nice tool too. You could put a little, this is smoked salmon. It was a little indulgence today, but it's so good. You could put that with that salad. And again, quick, easy, nutritious supper. And I'll guarantee you it's less expensive to do this than to go out to dinner on the fly. So I know, some of these groceries, you may be looking at them and going, oh gosh, those are expensive, right? But again, I promise you, if your default is that, oh, we're going to order DoorDash, or we're just going to order whatever, two things. First of all, you're likely not supporting your health. And second of all, you're actually probably spending more money than you need to, because it's typically generally always cheaper to cook at home than to go out. So let's see, what else do I have over here? Oh, here's another good choice. See how long we're taking on these veggies? So here's another really great thing. I know, it's a cheat, but it's, again, organic slaw mix. Now, do I make slaw with that? Sometimes. Sometimes what I do is make it like a nice little bit of a hot slaw. I wilt that with a little, again, of that bacon rendering, or maybe some grapeseed oil, or just another high temperature oil that you could use to saute. Just very quickly wilt it, and then put maybe some balsamic vinegar and some salt and pepper on there. Wonderful side dish. Or sometimes it's a cold slaw, and I make a lime, vinaigrette, and it goes on there, because sometimes I make paleo fish tacos, which is another story. We'll talk about that another day. Let's see, what else can I share with you? So we've gone through these vegetables. What other little tricks do I have here? Broccoli, you can buy bagged broccoli. Always a staple in our house. I know it's a cheat, but literally we roast it, we steam it, we eat it once or twice a week. Very good, very nutritious, good fiber, all the things, all the things, and a wonderful side dish, because most of the time what our dish looks like is there's a little protein and then there's several vegetables. Now, I'm not going to lie, are we always perfect like that? No, some days we do default to the DoorDash, but I will tell you, we always feel better and we're always glad when we do the right thing, which is this. Let's see. Okay, just to go through here, this is another little staple I like to use. You'll be able to see a recipe on our another day of a soup that we make with this nice vegetable juice. Also, of course, eggs. You know, a quick dinner. You can, again, saute some vegetables, or maybe ones that were roasted another night before, and then make a little frittata with that. So there's another choice. That ground pork, love having some nice clean ground pork in my refrigerator every week, because sometimes of course the kids kind of make fun of it. They call it mom's, whatever, I don't know, egg roll in a bowl, which it really is. I saute the pork, and then I use the slaw and then put some tamari sauce in there and some different like 5-spice seasoning and ginger and that type of thing. And then it's kind of like egg roll in a bowl without the wrap, right? Again, it's so easy and so quick. I always have chicken thighs and chicken breasts every week, and I do something with them, whether it's just roasting the chicken breasts, slicing them up and using them in some of these other things, or, you know, maybe it's a little bit more of an elaborate meal. Chicken thighs, oh, a great recipe. Again, on the fly, Paleo-Mediterranean. Use those chicken thighs, literally dump them in a pot and throw in some pico de gallo or salsa and squeeze a couple of limes in there and put some olive oil in there and just let that, you know, and a little bit of cumin and some garlic powder. I mean, that's how easy it is, garlic powder as opposed to press the garlic. And then just let it simmer and let it just simmer, and then get it to where it will shred those chicken thighs, and it's got all of that delicious flavor in there, and you can season to taste, but then you can put it on top of slaw. You can wrap it in a little, maybe a paleo burrito. You can use some of these, again, little, I'm gonna say a technically paleo chip, right? This is one that's made with cassava flour. Great as a base for nachos. So you can do all kinds of great things with just these basics. Let's see, artichoke hearts, I always have those on hand because again, that's something that I can put together with my chicken and, well, actually that one is chicken and white wine and artichoke hearts and capers. And again, just let it bubble. I'm big about using a pot, you know, put everything in, let it bubble, and then you get a great meal. Just working through here, things that we want to keep on hand. This Tapenade, nice tool for shrimp, maybe if you're going to make a sauteed shrimp, very quick and easy. I always have olives on hand because it flavors so many different things. Let's see, what else do we have here? Again, very little grain, right? We've already established that, but if you're going to eat grain, and what this looks like at our house is, you know, I'm going to kind of make a little topple here, but I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm half Italian, half Filipino. So sometimes I just crave rice. So here, this kind of gets it for me. So when we do make spaghetti, we just use this brown rice, clean, non-GMO. I love this brand, Jovial brand, and this is the pasta that we use. Now, do we eat this every night? Absolutely not. You know, again, 80-20. So when we do want some pasta, this is what we choose. I don't recommend you choose some of the other gluten-free pastas because most of those are made with corn flour and potato starch and that type of thing. And so they shoot your sugar, they're high glycemic index. They actually are worse for you than the wheat version. So let's see. Of course, you know, sometimes, a sweetener. Nice maple syrup is a really great sweetener. Honey sometimes can be one, but again, in moderation. I always have coconut oil on hand. Baking. So when you're baking, almond flour, cassava flour, arrowroot flour, tapioca starch, those are your go-tos. And you can find all kinds of recipes. Just Google search. Google search for these recipes because I'm telling you guys, they're out there. Paleo-Mediterranean is not just chicken and lettuce. As you can see now, I have chicken and I have lettuce over here, but that's not it. Also, let's see, I think you all can check out most of these things I have here, but really the point was to just illustrate here what it can look like, how you can cook on the fly, and if you've just got good ingredients. And I usually keep all of the cold ingredients just in my refrigerator. I actually don't freeze my meat every week. I'll put it all in the fridge so that way I don't have to plan ahead too much. So that's it. That's all I have on this topic, but I appreciate your interest. And if you have any questions, reach out and let me know.